Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm just waiting for everyone to join in. So, this is just a session that I wanted to do before you give your first ever exam of this year. I don't want to disturb you tomorrow, right? Given your exam will be on your head. So, I thought today will be a good time to connect with all of you and to see if any of you have any doubt, right? You can go ahead and post it here. I'll be happy to answer that. So, any doubt anyone has related to anything, just feel free to post it. Okay. Anything, any one of you have, feel free to ask me. And I don't want any of you to be studying late night tomorrow, right? You have to relax in the second half of tomorrow so that you can give your 100% in your exam. Hi, good evening. Go ahead. If there is any doubt, anything you would like to ask me about the experience of giving GATE, experience of giving IAT, experience of giving CUT, any last moment tip you want, anything you want, just feel free to ask me. I'm here only to see if you have any doubt and answer those. So, given that GATE economics is going to be your first exam, make sure that you reach center on time. Keep half an hour buffer. So if they tell you to reach center at some time, you should reach half an hour before that. Make sure you carry your water with you. Take some sips of water whenever you feel underconfident or whenever you feel any kind of stress. Do not study late night before the day of exam. Exam से पहले at least उससे शाम तक you should always end your preparation. That is what at least I followed. So if my exam is tomorrow morning, I would never study after 5, 6 p.m. today. So take enough rest, give enough rest to your brain. Let the brain sink in. जो भी आज तक पढ़ा है वो सब उसको रिवाइज करने दो, but don't open your books anymore. थोड़ा humor इधर उधर you can watch some light comedy, sleep on time, wake up on time, give your exam properly. वहां पे बिल्कुल स्ट्रेस नहीं लेना है. If the paper will be difficult, it will be difficult for everyone. This is what I tell every year. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आपके लिए मुश्किल है और बाकी बच्चों के लिए आसान है. It will never ever happen. So if the paper is difficult, it is difficult for everyone around. तो सोचते हुए पेपर दो. Give your 100%. Never leave the hall before the time of the exam. अगर एग्जाम 3 घंटे का है, if that exam is for 3 hours, never ever leave in 2 hours. Never ever leave in 1 hour. ऐसा नहीं है कि ओ ये तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं आता, आई विल जस्ट लीव. नो, सिट थ्रू द एग्जाम. पूरा एग्जाम देना जरूरी है. यू सिट थ्रू 3 hours, you take your time and you give the exam, right? Don't leave before. Sit throughout the paper. Okay. What is the weightage of public economics in our entrance? So just yesterday, I was telling one of the students on call, it differs paper to paper, but अगर मैं broadly किसी भी paper की बात करूँ, if I broadly speak about any paper, about 25% will be micro, about 25% will be macro, which also covers international with it. About 15% will be maths, and about 15% will be stats plus tricks. Right, so I'll just keep this as 25. So this is 50 and 30, 80%. About 10% will be Indian economy. And about remaining 10% will be pub eco, dev eco. गेट में समटाइम्स एक क्वेश्चन दे कैन आस्क ऑन एनवायरमेंटल इको और कहीं नहीं आता एनवायरमेंट. So this is broadly the weightage of any entrance exam of economics. किसी भी entrance exam में अगर हम देखेंगे तो broadly weightage ऐसा रहता है. ठीक है. Of course थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे हो सकता है, but broadly speaking this is how the entire exam is spread. Price discrimination. So in price discrimination, you just have to remember some main things. देखो बहुत डिटेल में क्वेश्चन will not be asked in exam. So I have to remember that if it is first degree price discrimination, so first I know my consumer surplus will be 0, my producer surplus will be maximum, and my total surplus will be same as perfect competition, and my deadweight loss will be 0. फर्स्ट डिग्री प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन में हर कंज्यूमर को उसका विलिंगनेस के बराबर का प्राइस देना है. सो ईच कंज्यूमर पेज इक्वल टू देयर विलिंगनेस टू पे, right? So each consumer is paying a different price. When we talk about third degree price discrimination, then we have to go ahead and remember that if there are two markets, then I will just have market 1 ka marginal revenue equal to 2 ka marginal revenue equal to cost. That's it. And there can be existence of deadweight loss. If I talk about second degree price discrimination, so you just have to remember that there is a possibility of entry fee. Entry fee हम maximum करते हैं, which is equal to the consumer surplus, and then per unit charge where P equal to MC. That's it. सिर्फ इतना ही करना है from the entire price discrimination. और हर एक से related some examples you can remember. इसमें न्यूमेरिकल आने का चांस मैक्सिमम इज फ्रॉम हियर. दिस हैज हाईएस्ट चांस ऑफ गिविंग यू अ न्यूमेरिकल क्वेश्चन. इंडियन इकोनॉमी कैसे करें, स्पेशली द फैक्चुअल पार्ट. सो दिस इज द मोस्ट ट्रिकी थिंग. देखो इट इज हाईली 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 इम्पॉसिबल टू डू एवरीथिंग फ्रॉम इंडियन इकोनॉमी. ठीक है. स्टिल इफ यू हैव सीन माई वीडियो, आई हैव ऑलरेडी हाईलाइटेड द इम्पॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स which can be covered under Indian economy. But जैसे मैं हमेशा से सजेस्ट करती आई हूँ, इंडियन इकोनॉमी शुड बी द लास्ट थिंग विच यू शुड पिक अप. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल लास्ट टाइम आउट ऑफ 75 क्वेश्चंस, द स्टूडेंट्स हु टॉप्ड द पेपर, जिन्होंने टॉप भी किया होगा, दे हैव स्कोर्ड अबाउट 66 to 67 क्वेश्चंस करेक्टली, राइट? इससे ऊपर उन्होंने करेक्टली नहीं किए. द कट ऑफ वॉज वेरी लो बिकॉज पेपर वॉज वेरी फैक्चुअल. अब उस केस में if we go ahead and if we see that 10% is Indian economy, माने Indian economy out of the total paper would not have been more than 7 to 8 questions. जिसमें से of course we would know 1 or 2 questions. जैसे if I tell you कि okay give me the formula of fiscal deficit, give me the formula of revenue deficit, primary deficit, ये तरीके के क्वेश्चन तो हमें आते हैं. या if I tell you arrange repo rate, reverse repo rate, या CRR, SLR इन रेशियो, ये भी हमें आता है क्योंकि ये हमें पता है कि इनका क्रोनोलॉजिकल ऑर्डर क्या होता है. दीज आर द काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस व्हिच वी नो. हाँ, इफ समवन टेल्स मी कि टेल मी द स्टेट जीडीपी ऑफ केरला इन द ईयर 2021, तो आई कैन नॉट आंसर, तो मेरे लिए मुश्किल है. सो आउट ऑफ द इंटायर 7-8 क्वेश्चंस जो इंडियन इकोनॉमी में आएंगे, अ लॉट ऑफ देम विल बी बेस्ड ऑन दीज डेफिनेशंस, राइट, बेस्ड ऑन थिंग्स विच यू नो. सिर्फ ये 7-8 क्वेश्चंस में से देयर विल बी 3 to 4 क्वेश्चंस, मैं अभी भी ज्यादा ले रही हूं, विच विल बी बेस्ड ऑन फैक्चुअल. नाउ यू थिंक कि डू यू वांट टू स्पेंड योर एंटायर एफर्ट ऑफ द नेक्स्ट few weeks on doing these 3-4 questions correctly, or do you want to do the remaining 70 questions correctly and get in a good college? एम ये नहीं है कि हमें सारे 75 क्वेश्चंस आने चाहिए, दैट इज नेवर द एम इन एनी एंट्रेंस एग्जाम। एम है स्मार्ट स्टडी। इफ आई कैन लीव दीज 3-4 क्वेश्चंस और उसका टाइम मैं इन सब्जेक्ट्स को डेडिकेट करूं, वेयर आई एम श्योर कि इफ आई डू इट आई आई विल बी करेक्ट, मेरे को वो अच्छे से आता है, आई शुड बी फोकसिंग ऑन दैट, मेरा फोकस उस पे होना चाहिए, राइट? सो यू कैन गो थ्रू डिफरेंट सर्वे, यू कैन गो थ्रू आरबीआई का पूरा बुलेटिन आता है, यू कैन गो थ्रू मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी कमिटीज का पूरा रिपोर्ट आता है, यू कैन गो थ्रू दीज थिंग्स, बट इट इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी टाइम कंज्यूमिंग एंड तो भी इट्स नॉट गारंटीड कि यू विल स्कोर वेल इन दीज फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चंस। तो ये फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चन सिर्फ तब पिक करने हैं व्हेन यू थिंक कि यू आर 100% श्योर कि बाकी जो 70 क्वेश्चंस है उसमें मेरा 100% मार्क्स आ ही रहा है, then I can think of these factual questions. Otherwise, जो इंडियन इकोनॉमी में श्योर शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस है, जमींदारी सिस्टम, वी नो देयर विल बी अ क्वेश्चन ऑन 1991, वी नो देयर विल बी अ क्वेश्चन ऑन टाइप्स ऑफ डेफिसिट, वी नो देयर विल बी अ क्वेश्चन ऑन रेपो रेट, रिवर्स रेपो रेट, सीआरआर, एसएलआर, वी नो देयर विल बी अ क्वेश्चन व्हिच विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ। जो क्वेश्चंस गारंटीड क्वेश्चंस हैं, वी शुड बी फोकसिंग ऑन दैट। What should we tackle question? How should we tackle question for which we are not sure about the solution? Should we still attempt or answer or leave it? The best thing is to see whether you can do the process of elimination or not. जैसे for example, if there are 4 options, ठीक है, and somehow I can eliminate 2 of them, तो बाकी 2 में देर इज अ 50% चांस कि वो करेक्ट होगा एंड 50% चांस कि वो इनकरेक्ट होगा। बट इफ आई डोंट नो एनी ऑप्शन, तो देर इज ओनली 25% चांस कि वो करेक्ट होगा बिकॉज आई डोंट नो एनी ऑफ द ऑप्शन। तो हियर लीविंग इज डेफिनेटली राइट, राइट? हियर फॉर फ्यू क्वेश्चंस यू गेट थोड़ा सा इंस्टिंक्ट कि इन दोनों में से ये वाला ऑप्शन करेक्ट है, यू कैन अटेम्प्ट 1 or 2 of those, not all, right? But mostly wherever there is negative marking, the best policy is to leave the question, छोड़ दो तो बेस्ट है। बट इफ यू कैन एलिमिनेट एंड इफ यू कैन डू द, इफ यू कैन गेट दिस इंस्टिंक्ट राइट, तो 1-2 क्वेश्चन ऐसे अटेम्प्ट होते ही हैं। आई वुड हैव डन द सेम थिंग, जो क्वेश्चंस में मैं 50-50% श्योर होती थी, आई वुड गो ahead and attempt few of them. But if I'm not sure, I will simply leave them. What kind of questions can be accepted from price discrimination topic? As I said, I think I've made the complete table of price discrimination. Cost curve in short run and long run. So cost curve in short run and long run depends कि हम लोगों को कौन से उससे रिलेटेड क्या क्वेश्चन दिया गया है। बट टू बी वेरी जनरल, अगर हमें लॉन्ग रन एंड शॉर्ट रन करना है, वन थिंग यू हैव टू रिमेंबर इज द एनवेलप थ्योरम। You can remember that the long run average cost envelopes all the short run average cost. एक ये चीज याद रखनी जरूरी है। The second thing is that whenever you have short run cost, so there will be 2 components, of course. एक हो जाएगा fixed और एक हो जाएगा variable, right? So usually what will happen is that you will be given some value of this fixed input. जैसे I know that my cost is WL plus RK, ठीक है? बट इन शॉर्ट रन यूजुअली आपको कुछ के का वैल्यू दिया होगा। जैसे इफ आई टेल यू के इज 4, तो मेरा कॉस्ट बन जाएगा WL+R × 4, ठीक है? एंड यू विल बी गिवन सम प्रोडक्शन फंक्शन, जैसे इफ माई प्रोडक्शन फंक्शन इज Q इज इक्वल टू L × K, कॉप-डॉगलेस प्रोडक्शन फंक्शन, तो आई नो कि के का वैल्यू 4 गिवन है बिकॉज इट इज शॉर्ट रन, कैपिटल फिक्स्ड है। सो फ्रॉम हियर आई विल गेट कि L विल बी Q/4 एंड यू कैन पुट दैट L हियर। तो आपको अपना शॉर्ट रन फंक्शन मिल जाएगा ओनली इन टर्म्स ऑफ Q, W एंड R। तो ये इसको हम बोलते हैं हमारा कॉस्ट फंक्शन। क्वेश्चन में whenever they ask you about cost function, IIT में लास्ट ईयर आया था, इट मीन्स दे आर आस्किंग यू टू फाइंड कॉस्ट एज अ फंक्शन ऑफ आउटपुट। जब आप कॉस्ट एज अ फंक्शन ऑफ आउटपुट निकालते हो, दैट इज व्हाट द क्वेश्चन इज आस्किंग यू, वो होता है कॉस्ट फंक्शन। सो if I find this is actually my short run cost function. And long run में कैपिटल का वैल्यू फिक्स नहीं है, कैपिटल भी वेरिएबल है, So यहाँ पे I cannot replace it with 4 anymore. Capital variable है. So long run में we have to find the cost function, we have to use the condition MRTS is equal to W by R and use this to find the cost function. How many questions from each subject? See, I cannot tell questions from each subject because the questions vary. So it's a general session, तो मैं ऐसे नहीं बता पाऊंगी कि CUT में कितना, IIT में कितना. It depends on the entire paper. So IIT has 60 questions, CUT has different number of questions, GATE has different number of questions. तो ये तो नहीं बता सकते कि कितना क्वेश्चन होगा. I can tell you about the percentage approximately. Depending on the paper that you are giving, you can find कि उसमें कितना क्वेश्चंस है और कितना परसेंटेज बनेगा. Like for example, when I talk about IIT, there are 60 questions, right? So approximately 15 you will see on micro, 15 you will see on macro plus international, right? That ways. So 6 to 7 you will see on maths, 6 to 7 you will see on stats plus tricks, remaining you will see on Indian eco. प्लस वट एवर पबिको डेविको एक्सेट्रा. ठीक है. सो इट डिफर्स कि यहाँ पे व्हाट्स द बेस, किसके परसेंटेज हम निकाल रहे हैं, बट अप्रोक्सीमेटली द पैटर्न दैट हैज बीन सीन इज दैट द सब्जेक्ट डिविजन लाइज समथिंग अराउंड दिस. एंड ऑल्सो you have seen that over time maths जो आ रहा है it has fallen. पहले maths थोड़ा ज्यादा आता था, now you see less maths. Important topics for maths in GATE. So as far as GATE is concerned, first of all, there can be a question on LPP. Secondly, there can be a question on input-output model. I just posted it this morning on input-output model, Leontief input-output model. Third, there can be a question on matrix, determinants, and इसी में they may ask you about the rank conditions. Fourth, there can be a question on your limit and continuity. अगर लिमिट एंड कंटिन्यूटी आएगा तो 2 वेरिएबल आएगा. सो यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस 2 वेरिएबल लिमिट एंड कंटिन्यूटी. These are the most important topic from the point of view of your GATE exam. No, it's not necessary to sit, but you should sit. You can always review back your questions. अगर मेरे पास 3 hours में टाइम बच रहा है, if I have time left in 3 hours, why would I want to leave? I can always review back questions. I can look at the passage questions. I can see how to, whether I have done them correctly or not, right? So why leave? Use that time, no? Can't grasp the concept of warp and sarp, how to check their violation. So I think we have just done this in marathon also recently. So for warp, you go ahead and you can use the rule of checking the off diagonals in matrix, right? So for example, if let's say that, say I have given you some bundles and some time period, right? Let's say I'll have to create an example. So give me a minute. Let me think about it. Let's say you have a consumer who has the following bundles. One of the bundle is 2,6 and the other bundle is 3,4. I'm just creating randomly, okay? And let's say that you're given some prices and the price are 2,1 and you're given another price, let's say the price in another case is 1,1. Okay. So I am saying that when price is 2, 1, then the chosen bundle is 2, 6, and when price is 1, 1, then the chosen bundle is 3, 4. So whatever is our chosen bundle, matlab is I can write the prices here rather 2, 1, 1, 1 and bundle here 2, 6 and 3, 4. ये मेरा प्राइस है, ये मेरा क्वांटिटी है. तो जिस प्राइस पे जो बंडल हम चूज करते हैं वी सर्कल दैट. सो एट दिस प्राइस आई एम चूजिंग दिस बंडल, सो आई विल सर्कल दिस. एट दिस प्राइस आई एम चूजिंग दिस बंडल, तो मैं इसको सर्कल कर दूंगी. अब नाउ व्हाट वी डू इज वी फिल ऑल 4 बॉक्सेस. और बॉक्सेस कैसे फिल करते हैं? बाय फाइंडिंग द एक्सपेंडिचर. तो माने अगर मुझे ये एक्सपेंडिचर निकालना है, सो आई विल डू 2 into 2 plus 1 into 6. That means 4 plus 6, that means 10. अगर मुझे यहाँ एक्सपेंडिचर निकालना है, सो आई डू 2 into 3 plus 1 into 4, so 6 plus 4, so 10. अगर मुझे यहाँ एक्सपेंडिचर निकालना है, सो आई डू 1 into 2 plus 1 into 6, so 8. अगर मुझे लास्ट का एक्सपेंडिचर निकालना है, सो आई डू 1 into 3 plus 1 into 4, so I'll get 7. अब मैं देखूंगी कि what are एक रो एट अ टाइम पे what are those things which are costing up to 10. जैसे यहाँ 10 आ रहा है, so wherever it is up to 10 you will put a star mark. तो यहाँ पे भी 10 है, so you will put a star mark. अगर यहाँ पे भी कुछ और भी होता which was less than 10 you would have put a star mark. सेम रो 2 के लिए करोगे. रो 2 में आई हैव सर्कल्ड 7 ना, so you will put a star mark whatever is less than 7. तो यहाँ पे अगर 7 आ रहा है, so you will check wherever it is less than 7 you will put a star mark. But यहाँ तो 8 है, so you will not put a star mark. So after putting star mark you will check the off diagonals. आप इन off diagonals को check करोगे. अगर off diagonals में you see 2 star mark, यहाँ पे भी star mark और यहाँ पे भी होता, then you would have said that warp is violated. But if you don't see star mark, then you will say warp is satisfied. This is the easiest way in which I can explain without explaining the economics behind it, right? So you just have to look at the star marks. And based on that, you have to check whether warp is satisfied or whether warp is violated. I'll give you another example. This time I'll show you about a violation. So again, suppose आपने ये expenditure निकाला, यहाँ पे आपको एक प्राइस दिया हुआ है P1, यहाँ पे दूसरा प्राइस वेक्टर है, यहाँ पे डिमांड वेक्टर एंड डिमांड वेक्टर. एंड जब आपने ये निकाला यू गेट 10, 9 एंड यू गेट 9 एंड 12. अब ऑलवेज P1 पे chosen bundle will be X1, so you will circle it. P2 पे chosen bundle will be X2, so you will circle it. Now row wise you will go and you will start putting a star जहां पे भी it is less than 10. तो अभी हम इस रो की बात कर रहे हैं. So wherever it is less than 10 I will put a star. तो मैंने यहाँ पे star लगा दिया. Then I will go to second row. Wherever it is less than 12 I will put a star. तो मैंने यहाँ पे भी star लगा दिया. I see star in the off diagonals, so I can say that warp is violated. क्योंकि दो स्टार आ रहे हैं, right? So we can go ahead and say warp is violated. So this is how you can go ahead and check warp. Okay. Does geometric distribution come in CUET? Yes. Any distribution can come in CUET in the match the following. So you have to do all distributions that we have done in the marathon. जो भी marathon में किया है, you have to revise everything. What topics to do for econometrics specifically for CUET? It is given simple regression model. Simple does not mean simple. Whatever we have covered in yesterday's marathon of econometrics must be done for CUET also. Okay. Is maths weightage falling in CUT like JAM? It is falling, yes. And also the maths which comes is very, very easy. So, questions like this, if I just tell you that y is equal to x into ln x, find dy by dx. Now, this is nothing. This is school level maths that you have to use product rule and differentiate, right? So, these kind of questions you will see in maths. Then you will see questions on differential equation, difference equation, in which they will ask you order, right? They'll ask you degree. बहुत basic questions are asked in maths, not very difficult questions. So even though the amount of questions may be the same, but the level of the questions will be very simple. Okay, then circular flow of income in open and closed economy. I think I've covered that as part of my CUT UG syllabus. You can go to that channel and watch, because circular flow is very basic. It's a class 12th level concept. Is trigonometry important from CUT and JAM perspective? Well, no, it's not completely important. Even if you see a question on trigonometry, it will be just 1 out of 60 or 1 out of 75, and it will be very basic, right? So you don't have to do trigonometry in length and breadth. इस ईयर के लिए it is my expectation that in the IIT paper you may see question on sequence and series, and in that you may see some level of trigo, although not in gate, but definitely it is going to go ahead and it is going to come in your IIT exam, right? So that is where you have to go ahead and you have to look at trigonometry. Can you give a few topics which are generally important for IIT but can be skipped for CUT? So, see, the syllabus of IIT and CUT is completely the same. Just the level is different. So there is no topic which you should be skipping as such. It's just that कि मेरे को कितना depth में पढ़ना है मुझे वो पता होना चाहिए. So for example, when I am going ahead and I am studying to be very so let's say I'm studying ISLM model. Okay. Now if I would be studying ISLM for IIT JAM, then I will be looking in detail about the fiscal and monetary policy multiplier and how to find them in detail. But when I will be doing in CUT, so even if I know what is government policy multiplier, what is the slope of IS curve, what is the slope of LM curve, it is enough. So topic to same hai. Topic will be there in both. But what will be different will be the level in which it will be asked. Level is what is going to differ. ठीक है. Same is the case with microeconomics. Microeconomics में when I talk about IIT, तो IIT में you will see questions जो हमने day 1 day 2 पे अपना live class में किया था. Min plus max function, min of the linear functions. You remember those IC curves, right? Utility functions, वो आएंगे. But when we go ahead and when we talk about the CUT paper, then also ICs will be there. But वो बहुत basic question पूछेंगे कि how does the indifference curve of a bad good look, good look, right? Or what happens in case of complementary good, substitute good. So the level will be different, but the topics will be the same. Econometrics marathon part 2 for gate. Okay, we'll try. The paper is just day after, so we have to see how much of marathon we can do on that. But I'll try if I can take a half an hour marathon and wrap that up. I hope you have done the questions from the portal on econometrics. आज सुबह भी I have posted some more important questions on the portal of econometrics. Make sure you do them before the paper. How many cases in Mundale Fleming are must be done for gate, because everyone says do 4, do 8, or all 12. So I think I answered this just day before yesterday when we were discussing important topics for gate, that The most important cases are 4 cases. ये 4 cases ज़्यादा important है, in which you do perfect capital mobility plus fixed or flexible plus fiscal or monetary. So these 4 cases are most important. Perfect capital mobility fixed, fiscal, perfect capital mobility fixed, monetary, perfect capital mobility flexible fixed, and this fiscal and monetary. ये 4 cases most important है. But post that, others you do if time permits. Varna, you remember the table that we created in class? That table should be enough. Okay. And I think now all of you, I have checked the table that has been recently posted on the Telegram group. वो table correct है. So you can just refer to that table. Just make this, huh? Case, which exchange rate, which policy, and effectiveness. Just today morning, I checked someone's table on Telegram group. It's correct. Just revise that table. But these 4 cases are most important. Okay, you're scared of Indian economy for CUT purpose. So you should be, because it is something which can increase or decrease your marks. ऐसा नहीं है कि scared नहीं होना है. But as I said in the beginning, that Indian economy is only going to be 10% of your entire paper. So you first do the 90% correctly. पहले वो 90% अच्छे से कर लो. And then you get scared about this 10%. Don't ruin the remaining 90% for this 10%. और ये 10% में भी, as I said, कुछ fixed topics हैं which we have to go ahead and do. 5-year plan, Niti Aayog, FRBM Act, then all these things, you go ahead and you do that, right? Good, if you have the notes, use them, study it from them. Where on portal the econometric assignment posted today? So I don't know which batch you're from. Tina, okay, CUT. So it is posted under stats section. Towards the end, you should be able to find that. Okay, integration marathon. See, in maths, I specifically did not do integration because I thought it is a class 12th topic. So I left differentiation and integration only because of that and covered the other topics for marathon. So we can take a session on integration, but only after IIT, because the next 1 week I want to do some very difficult questions to clear IIT exam. And उसके बाद we can take a marathon on integration. ठीक है? Is insurance topic very important? If you look at the pattern, you will notice that every year there has been question which have come on insurance. IIT maybe, GATE maybe, CUT maybe. So questions on risk premium, questions on insurance premium. रिस्क प्रीमियम में तीनों का पता होना चाहिए. हाँ, रिस्क एवर्स, रिस्क लवर, रिस्क न्यूट्रल. How to find insurance premium, how to find certainty equivalent, very very important. And if time permits, please एक बारी revise करना. We had done a linear utility function. हाँ, how does a general utility function look for risk, and उसमें बीटा का क्या वैल्यू होता है, एरो प्रैट इंडेक्स क्या होता है. All these things are important. This topic will come in exam. Econometrics MCQ worksheet 1, 2, 3, yes. Plus also one recorded econometrics lecture on the MCQs. It covers some good MCQs. For ecotrix, is simple linear regression only important for CUT? No, that is what I have been telling Parth. No. Dummy variable, functional forms, multicollinearity, autocorrelation, ये सब important है. Simple linear regression just means that you're not going to go ahead and you're not going to be asked on in detail on any other thing. लाइक टाइम सीरीज मॉडलिंग नहीं पूछ सकते हैं या और चीजें नहीं पूछ सकते हैं. बट सिंपल लीनियर रिग्रेशन डज नॉट मीन दैट दे कैन नॉट आस्क यू ऑन मल्टी कोलिनियरिटी, दे कैन नॉट आस्क यू ऑन ऑटो कोरिलेशन. वो पूछ सकते हैं, दे कैन आस्क यू ऑन दैट. So simple linear regression still means the first 13 chapters of Gujarati econometrics. It does not mean the only chapter number 2. Okay, what else? Anything else? Tobin's Q, what kind of question can be asked? So in Tobin's Q, they can ask you the relationship. What happens when Q increase is more than 1, equal to 1, less than 1? That is one thing. And second thing, they can ask you to find the value of Q. So you should know the formula well. They may give you कि एक firm का market share इतना है, replacement cost इतना है, find Tobin's Q. That can be asked in exam or the implications. Okay, let me just scroll back if I missed any question. Is representation theorem topic from consumer theory mentioned in syllabus? Well, it's not, because the syllabus is always implicit in nature, not explicit in nature. Syllabus explicitly कभी नहीं बताता है कि आपको क्या पढ़ना है. Like for example, if I tell you study ISLM model, अब वो आप पर है whether you just want to study what is ISLM, या you want to study the equations of ISLM, या you want to study the slope of ISLM, या you want to do the numericals from ISLM. So the syllabus will never explicitly tell you एक टॉपिक में से क्या पढ़ना है. वो स्टूडेंट पे छोड़ा जाता है कि कितना इन डेप्थ यू वांट टू स्टडी फॉर द एग्जाम, राइट? सो although a lot of things will not be mentioned in the syllabus, जैसे syllabus specially थोड़ी बोलता है that go ahead and study good bad goods, neutral goods, नहीं ना, but we study them क्योंकि we know it can be asked in exam. We study how to find the equilibrium if my utility function looks like this, x minus 10 whole square minus y minus 5 whole square. हाँ, इस utility function का what will be value of x and y, we study that, but not that it's written in the exam, written in the paper. How much does the mock score help us estimate our final score? See, a lot of questions in mock test I have put specially for you to learn a concept. So mock score is not going to give you a true picture. Matlab, I think many of you have been coming to me that you have only scored 25 in mock test or 13 mock test. What to do with it? ऐसा नहीं है. Even if you have scored less in mock, it does not mean you will score less in the exam. I always ask you the next question कि no problem you scored less in mock, but how much did you score in the second attempt? At least give one mock the second time. और अगर second time your score has improved drastically, it means you are on a good path, you are able to grasp the concepts. So because the mock has been designed to give you information about topics which are small but new to you, first time mock में कमाना is fine. But the second time you should be scoring well in the mock. The more mocks you attempt, the better it is. So attempt as many mocks as you can. Okay, anything else? So I hope that all of you will be giving your 100% in the gate exam. प्लीज ये सोच के गेट का पेपर मत देना कि हमारा एम तो माई एम इज सीयूईटी, गेट को तो मैं ऐसे ही दे रहा हूं करके. नो, when you give gate exam, give it with 100% confidence, give it with 100% dedication. Your aim in the gate exam should be that you have to clear it. एम इज कि इस गेट एग्जाम के थ्रू हम आईआईटी में सीट ले पाए. एम शुड नॉट बी कि ये एक मॉक पेपर की तरह दे रहे हैं और सीयूटी महीने में नहीं. यू नेवर नो हाउ द सीयूटी एग्जाम विल टर्न आउट टू बी. अगर वो लास्ट ईयर के जितना ही यू नो आई शुड से weird exam hua, and we don't know what that paper will be, then what will we do? We cannot just focus on one paper. One paper cannot decide our future. We have to keep all options open, we have to keep all doors open, and the first door to that is gate exam. So gate exam must be given with 100% dedication, and post that for the next 1 week you should also go ahead and give your IIT exam with the same dedication. उसके बाद we will review back and we will see कि क्या गलतियां हुई हैं, and we will go ahead and we will see कि हमें कैसे improve करना है for the CUT exam. How much should we get in the mock? So getting about 40 to 50% in any mock paper is fine. It means you're doing good in the mock. Expected date of CUT PG. So the expected date of CUT PG is going to be just an expectation I have, 20 to 25th of March. So after you give your IIT exam, I am expecting we should have 1 month to prepare fully for CUT, 100% for CUT. Whether paper will be like 2025 or before 2025, before 2025. 2025 ka IIT was an exception. But from what we have heard till now, this year's IIT is going to be much difficult. But let's see. We don't know. This is just all things, you know, uh, circulating in the market, in the air. But pata nahi kya paper aayega. We always prepare for the worst. चाय नो बेटा, कॉफी है तो दे दो. आई डोंट लाइक चाय. Is geometric distribution asked in exam? Yes, it can be asked in exam. You can be given questions like this: geometric distribution, geometric distribution, Poisson distribution, binomial distribution, and some other. कोई भी एक ले लो, say normal. And they can ask you about the mean values. And they can give you some mean and they can ask you match the following. Something like this. So you have to know the properties of geometric, know the properties of Poisson. कि क्या mean है वो, is it lambda, is mean 1 by lambda, is mean 1 by p, is mean n by p, is mean n into p. कहाँ पे क्या mean होता है, क्या variance होता है, we have to go ahead and know that. So all distributions in that sense are important. Again, I would suggest, जैसे मैंने आपको marathon में बोला था, you make a table out of it. You write the name of distribution, you write its mean, you write its variance, and you write its properties. Properties can be whatever. जैसे property can be a memory-less property. Property can be that, when does binomial go towards normal? So all these properties you write in the last column, and you make this table and you keep this table handy. Sara ka sara distribution you can revise from one table, right? So all distributions have to be done. Anything else? Anyone? So make sure that before the gate exam, all of you do the identification problem. Do simultaneous equation model of econometrics and do some part of time series modeling. This will be asked in this year's GATE exam. Okay. Anything else? Anyone? Okay. So we end the session for now. If there is anything anyone has, do let me know. Auction game can be skipped. No time to do that now. International trade in JAM PYQs is very less. That's true actually. In JAM, you will notice more questions based on Mundell-Fleming, J-curve, Marshall Lerner condition, but you'll see less of Ricardian theory or less of absolute income hypothesis. Sorry, absolute theory or comparative theory. ये कम दिखता है. So that is very much true. You can skip it if you're only focusing on JAM. But if your focus is GATE plus JAM plus CUET, you have to do these theories because we have seen them coming in GATE and CUET. Anything else? Okay. So thank you very much, all of you. I wish all of you all the very best for your upcoming GATE exam. Abhi ka focus is only GATE exam. CUT can be focused after you have done IIT. You will have one complete month, as I said. But अभी का aim है कि हम GATE और IIT को बहुत बहुत अच्छे से दें and we make the 100% out of it. अगर हमारा IIT में selection हो जाता है, if we get selected at IIT, हमारे पे we get another level of confidence to sit for CUT exam. But जब ये दो exams अच्छे नहीं जाते हैं, then we kind of lose the confidence. So even if, you know, the aim is not to get admission at IIT, आपको अगर DSC ही चाहिए, IGIDRE चाहिए, you don't want to go at IIT, then also you must give these two exams with utmost dedication. The more good and more scores that you get in these exams, the better you will perform in your CUT. राइट क्योंकि वो आपके कॉन्फिडेंस को थोड़ा बूस्ट करता है इट हेल्प्स यू सी कि हाँ जो मैंने पूरा एक साल प्रिपरेशन की है इट वाज वर्थ इट ओके थैंक यू वेरी मच देन